Hi all, welcome to another video of subject DC machines and transformers, and today we are going to discuss the 4-point starter which is used in DC motor. So in the previous video we have discussed the 3-point starter and its working and all, but here in 3-point starter the no volt release is connected in series with the shunt field coil, okay, and the shunt field rheostat here. It is connected in series with the shunt field, and normally we know for the speed control of DC motors we would be adjusting the rheostat in series with the shunt field for reducing and increasing the current through the coil, okay. That is by controlling the flux in the shunt field we can simply control the speed of the motor. But in this 3-point starter, this shunt field is connected in series with the holding coil, okay. So thus if sufficient resistance is cut in by the field rheostat here, okay, cut in by the field rheostat, so that the holding coil current is no longer able to create sufficient electromagnetic pull to overcome this spring tension, the starter arm will fall back to the off position, okay. That is, the holding coil will not be energized. That is, actually we need is actually if the starter arm reaches this on position, the holding coil should energize and it will attract the soft iron keeper, and the starter arm will keep on this position, this on position, okay. But if sufficient current is not flowing through the holding coil, that is by adjusting the rheostat and all, that is, if you are controlling the speed of the motor, we will be adjusting the rheostat here, okay. So by adjusting the rheostat, if the current flowing through the field, thereby the current flowing through the holding coil is not sufficient to energize this holding coil and to attract this soft iron keeper, of course the starter arm will go back to the off position, okay, go back to the off position. So that is one disadvantage of this 3-point starter. So for overcoming that disadvantage, we have developed a 4-point starter here, okay. So as shown in the figure, when the starter arm touches the stud 1, the line current divides into 3 parts, okay. Mainly the line current will divide into 3 parts instead of the 3-point starter. Here the line current will have 3 parts, that is, one part passes through the resistance armature and series field coil, and the second part passes through the shunt field coil, and the third one passes through the no volt release, that is holding coil and protective resistance, okay. And all the working is same as our 3-point starter, that is when the D supply is closed, and if you are moving the starter arm in the clockwise direction, initially all of the resistance will be in series with the armature, thereby we can reduce the starting current, and also the shunt field also energized through this brass arc, okay. But here the only difference is the holding coil is not connected in series with the shunt field, it is connected separately through a protective resistance here, okay. So since in this arrangement the no volt release coil is independent of the shunt field circuit, it will not be affected by the change of the current in the shunt field circuit. That is, we can simply control the speed of the DC motor by changing the shunt field resistance and the current flowing to the shunt field, okay. It will not affect the holding coil here, okay. So that is the main disadvantage here. So the electromagnetic pull exerted by the holding coil will always be sufficient and will prevent the spiral spring from restoring the arm to the off position, no matter how the field rheostat is adjusted, okay. So a motor is started with a 4-terminal starter in the same way as with a 3-terminal starter, okay, 3-point starter. Any desired speed above normal of the DC motor can be obtained by adjusting the field rheostat in series with the shunt field here. Okay, and that's the main advantage of this 4-point starter. And also for stopping the motor, the line switch should always be opened. Okay, we have to open this line switch. So normally the holding coil, this no volt release, will de-energize, and starter arm will come back to this off position. Okay, so that is the main working of this 4-point starter. I hope all of you understand this topic well. So thank you.